Welcome back to Down the Track. Today we will be reviewing the game between Punjab and Mumbai. A little bit of a one-sided game, not to the expectations that we've gotten used to the IPL for. I have with me my host and my dost Musti. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. How's everything with you?
All good. Just a little bit upset about the game going one-sided. Both of us had Punjab to win it, but Punjab were really not in it at all.
I
Mumbai
honestly thought it's going to be a closer game. I didn't think it's going to be this
Absolutely.
one-sided.
Yeah, absolutely. I think up until the 13th over, I think the game was even. First innings, 13th over, I think Punjab was bowling well.
Yeah, they
Mumbai
had
was
him
in it.
control.
Yeah, Mumbai was in it, but I think a little bit of inexperience again from KL Rahul in terms of finishing off his bowlers. First, I think there was a little bit of an issue with the balance, I think, of that team. Punjab just 5 bowlers going in, and Nisham and Gautam are your third, fourth, and fifth bowler. I don't think that makes sense in terms of the bowling attack. Maybe you have to think about bringing in a Jordan. Maybe think about bringing in a Mujib because they have that kind of variety available for them. But I think they just lacked that steam, and Nisham was not good with the bat, not good with the ball. So he's really not been able to I mean, he is a talented player, but he's not been able to kind of come through and deliver. So, what are your thoughts on Punjab's performance and their team selection?
Yeah, now I feel that the death bowling is a big issue because Shami and Cottrell, they're really good with the new ball. And I just thought it was Sharjah, so a bad day. But I saw today they did start off really well. But then in the death, especially Shami, leaked runs, Cottrell, he finished him off. He didn't even give him the death bowling. And then Nisham got smashed in the death. So the death bowling is a huge issue. That's where the game turned, I think, when Pollard and Pandya were smashing it. So I think that's a big problem now for Punjab because they have wicket-taking bowlers, but then you also need death bowling in the end. I think Shami will come back, but like the likes of Nisham, I don't know if he's going to work against other teams as well. It's going to be difficult, so they'll need to work on that. Batting as well. I think both bowling and batting, Punjab started off well. They were actually slightly on top on both occasions, but they just lost it from there. I think even with the bat after Agarwal got out. It was all downhill from there for Punjab, and with the ball we saw Pandya and Pollard what they did, and Rohit Sharma, I think credit to him, excellent innings. He adapted to the pitch. It was started off slow, and then he knew that he had these two big hitters in the bag, so he played his innings to perfection.
Yep, I agree with you completely. I think Pollard and Pandya, man, what power, what brute force with the way they kind of. I mean, yes, the bowling was poor, but you still have to put it away for that many sixes, And I think they scored about 12 or 13 sixes in that inning, so it's kind of something to really commend them on. I mean, solid hitting. Yes,
interesting fact. Sorry to cut you. Like it's on your point. That's why I'm saying it. Interesting fact was in the 15th over, Punjab was 5 runs ahead of Bombay. They lost 2 more wickets, but in terms of runs, they were 5 runs ahead. So that just goes to show how much they hit.
Yeah, sorry, exactly. Yep, absolutely. And I think, except for yes, KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal have been very good. Today, Puran was also good. But apart from that, no one else is really taking the mantle. It just looks like the top 3 is playing, and then the rest, kind of like a little bit like the issue that Sunrisers sometimes have.
What happened to Maxwell, man?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, like, he's supposed to be that kind of your hitter, and he wasn't even.
He struggled.
He struggled a lot today. Like, he was hitting the players. Even Sarfaraz was just hitting the ball to the players. I mean,
he was playing left-handed half the time.
He's trying too many things. He's trying too hard. It just didn't work out for them. I think with the ball towards the end, and I think after the first 5 or 6 overs with the bat as well, I think they were behind and they never really got ahead. After that, I think they completely demoralized them when Pandya and Pollard went like all guns blazing. Unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess. So. There's really a lot of thinking now suddenly for Punjab to do. Yes, they've lost 3 games out of 4. 2 of them were close, but now they played 4 and they won only 1 game. So now they're starting to peg back a little bit. So they need to start quickly turning things around. Maybe consider the likes of Jordan, who is a death bowler. Bring him in, because I think they want to play Mujib, but I think that same issue with them, with Mujib being the spinner, they might not be able to play him in the end. He's more of a frontline bowler. So if you want to play Mujib, you might have to consider letting Cottrell go, because he's your more middle over, first over kind of bowler. So I think they have to consider bringing Jordan into this team again, because he's your bowling all-rounder and he can give you 2 or 3 overs in the death. So that's kind of what they have to seriously think about. But they have to work on that balance.
I didn't understand that why they took out Murugan Ashwin. He bowled.
Yeah, exactly.
He took 3 wickets in the last game. Gautam got hit for 45 runs in 4 overs. It didn't make sense. And like, going with the spin, like the likes of Rohit, he loves that. Like, so I really didn't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. And this is a bigger ground. It's not Sharjah. In Sharjah, if you're going to play a spinner, you might as well play a spinner here because he will be more effective, right? So I don't know. I mean, there's some selection issues. There's some thinking for them to go back and do. I mean, it's not yet lost. They have lost two quick close ones. I mean, it's unfortunate, but
and they still look like one of the strongest teams up until this game. Like, and they lost two before this. Yeah.
They were looking strong, but if they don't rectify these issues quickly, I think they'll struggle a lot. Mumbai, on the other hand, now starting to really pick it up. This has been Mumbai. They start off slowly first 2 or 3 games, and now suddenly, I mean, yes, they're at 4 points, 2 wins, 2 losses, not that bad, but. And one of them was again a close one because they went into super over and kind of lost from there, So Mumbai's team just looks solid. I think they have we were there was issues with their spin department, but I think Chahar and Krunal Pandya came up with the goods today. Kind of shut both of us up because both of us have been talking about.
I was going to tell you Pandya was probably Krunal Pandya was probably my man of the match, not because he did something, because just his figures. I thought he was the guy they're going to target, especially with Puran on strike. I thought he was the guy they're going to target, and he bowled really well. So he
was so good, man.
He shut me up.
He was so good today. Even Chahar, like, he got the big wicket in KL
Brilliant
Rahul.
Bowling. Yeah, fantastic bowling.
Yes, KL Rahul's shot selection was not the most ideal. I mean, you don't want to try to do that, but he was very good. Like, overall, both of them were good. Pattinson, I think he did a very good job as well. I think he was. Yes, he's not your bowler, like Yorker kind of bowler, but he gives you those full length deliveries and he makes the ball do a little bit, and he got the wickets as well. And then, of course, man, champion bowler Bumrah.
He's back.
Bumrah's back.
He's back.
Man, he's a champion bowler.
You're absolutely spot on. I was a bit hesitant because I wasn't sure, but you're absolutely spot on. Like, he will come back. He probably still will have some bad games here and there in terms of consistency, but he still has it in him. I was writing him off too early.
Dude, he's a player. He's a class player. But I think.
Very interesting. You're talking about Rahul playing that shot, right? Rahul's strike rate, I think his strike rate. Yeah, no. Like, against spinners, he struggles a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Like, he's going 10 and over against pace bowling. Against spinners, he goes 6.5. Struggling. There is a difference there. So, like, teams can probably look into that on Dubai, Abu Dhabi pitches. Maybe not in Sharjah, but maybe start off with a spinner, or even if he gets going, get in a spinner. Like, you know what I mean? And try to slow him down. Like, I think a lot of people might even open up with spinners when Rahul comes into bat. There is a slight weakness there.
But Mayank is pretty good against the spinners. So
so that pair is dangerous, right? That way. But it's just interesting because Rahul loves the ball coming up to the bat, but when it slows down a bit, I think that's where he's struggling. Like, Mayank, I think he just got bowled by a beauty. But Rahul, you could tell before he got out, there was some struggle. Like, it wasn't a fluent innings.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mayank today got an absolute ripper, man. What a ball that was! Beautiful. Like, beautiful. Just like turns inside and just cleans him up. It's a fast bowler's dream, that kind of a ball. But I think it is what it is, right? Mumbai looking good. Punjab needs to go back to the drawing board and fix their issues really quickly. I think that's
and kind of Hardik Pandya didn't bowl yet.
That's what I'm saying. They have so many options available.
Wow.
Like, they have the likes of Pollard and Pandya who can actually just do the job when needed. Like, if let's say Pattinson or someone just gets slammed in the first 2 overs, they don't have to go back to him. They have the likes of Pandya and Pollard to come in and chip in with the ball. Worst case scenario, Rohit Sharma can turn his arm around. Like that. That's the kind of availability that they have in that team.
So many options.
And that's kind of what makes Mumbai always a strong team. That always kind of comes through more often than not. The only thing you're going against them is not an odd year.
I had them 7th or 6th in my predictions.
I think I had them 5th as well. I think that because of the pitches and the lack of spinner, I think we were both kind of thinking that they might not make the top 4. But they look a strong team, man. It's going to be hard for them to not be in the top 4 now.
One quick question I wanted to ask you. It came on the IPL website, on the TV as well. Which West Indies had the greater impact in the IPL, Pollard or Gill?
Yeah, man, like, and the kind of what the commentators spoke about made me really question that, and like made me really question. In my opinion, Chris Gayle is like the best T20 batsman you ever seen. 175 runs of 50, 60 balls against Pune 3 years back. Nobody does that. Nobody. That kind of 175 was a team score in 20 overs for many, many games. But he scored in like 10 overs, 12 overs, or something of the sort. That kind of craziness is just other level. But Harsha Bogle or someone else mentioned, Ian Bishop mentioned that Pollard has made his team win times.
That's what I was gonna say.
Is at 0. So it's a very hard one. But I think in terms of impact, it has to be Pollard, because Pollard has gone on and made them win 4 times. So that makes a little bit more sense for me. So
it's a very tough question, but I just wanted to see your thoughts on that. But
and that's why he's still playing and Gayle is still in the dugout. That's a difference.
Yeah, true. Like true. And like he's one of the foreigners who's not struggling at all. Like especially like in the West Indies. Like Russell is not struggling, but right now Pollard is the go-to all-rounder right now. So
absolutely.
and credit to the Mumbai management owners. They always backed him, even though he was having poor seasons. We all called for him to be be left out, but I think credit to them, they backed him, and now he's at this age. I didn't expect this from him, like at this, because he's been doing this for 10 years, but this year
rock star.
Yeah, he's taking it to another level.
Rockstar. Hats off to him, and well done to Mumbai to stick around with him. Some of these things, like yesterday we saw with Kolkata, like the sticking to the young guns in Mavi and Nagarkoti, paying off. Today, the old guns in Pollard, even though he's had a couple of poor seasons over the past 2-3 years, still sticking around with him, and he's giving them so I think this kind of sticking to your guns and believing in them is very important.
You got it spot on, because there's different ways to go about it. Every team has different ethics, values, strategies, but you have to stick to it. Like I think KKR and Mumbai are good examples of like sticking to it, because they both can not look good at times, but if you stick to it, like it should pay dividends at the end.
Right, absolutely. And both these teams are actually looking good so far. But Punjab, some thinking to do. I think with that, who's your man of match?
I said Krunal Pandya, but like if you want to look at it more, it probably has to be Pollard. Rohit Sharma as well, right up there, but it has to be Pollard, because I think that took the wind out of Punjab.
Yeah. That's it. That's exactly what it is. It's just like, finishing it off in that kind of menace, like 18 of the last 3 balls really takes it from a 160, 170, which would have been a challenging total, to a 190, which becomes above par, So that kind of brings a lot of difference into this into this lineup, and that's why you have to go with Pollard, I think. But I think that wraps up today. Punjab just starting to worry me a little bit, because I had them in my top 4. Actually, no, I expected them to finish last, so maybe they're going in that direction. But we'll see how it goes. They're still a pretty good side.
They're a good side. I think a couple of wins will get that confidence. I think Rahul also as captain, he just needs those wins under his belt. I think he'll get them.
Sure, absolutely. Moving on. I think that wraps up today. Moving on tomorrow.
I've been waiting this for 1 month. 1 month. I'm ready.
Oh my God!
I got that. I'm so energized for this podcast, just for what you're going to talk about now.
Okay, so then moving on. I think we've covered everything. Thank you. But no, we have to talk a little bit about Chennai Super Kings versus Sunrisers Hyderabad. Big game.
Hometown, baby. Hometown.
Yep, Hyderabad.
So I mean, it's your place of birth versus the team you support. So I think interesting game. Chennai haven't played in so long, man. It's been it feels ages. So it'll be interesting to see how it can go either way. They could come back to fresh and strong, because they are like a bit older. So maybe the break helped them, or they could be rusty again. I look at it like Hyderabad should win this game, but Chennai do have a good record against them, so I'll never count Chennai out. If Raidu comes back, I think that'll be a huge factor. I think he'll play the likes of Rashid Khan better than the other batsmen. So I think Raidu,
I believe he's fit.
Yeah, he's fit. So I think he'll be a key player. And Watson hasn't performed yet, so maybe him. But even Faf looks in good form. So it won't be as easy as on paper. It looks like Sunrisers should win it.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a close game. It could go either way. It's not. I don't think it'll be as straightforward as that.
And Chennai is the only other team apart from Hyderabad that works well with low scores.
Yeah.
Hyderabad is one of the. I mean, if you when you consider like someone like the likes of Delhi or someone, these guys struggle with low scores to kind of chase these kind of scores. But like Hyderabad and Chennai are the 2 teams that work very well with low scores. Like 140 would be an ideal like fight between both of them, and kind of like that kind of situation. And the pitches help both these players, because Chennai is stacked with some spinners, although they haven't been a little bit underperforming. But Hyderabad, I mean, last game Rashid was absolutely incredible. Abhishek Sharma really supported him pretty well. So that left arm spinning is also looking good. So like, I mean, this team is well balanced. Now Chennai, you can never write them off. They are pretty, like, I mean, they're so good when on their day, like, and the likes of having Dhoni as a captain and maybe likes of Watson just goes all guns blazing. This could really turn out to be a ugly game for Sunrisers. But I think overall, I also think that Sunrisers are a little bit better off right now, considering they've kind of figured out their formation after the first couple of losses. They looked very, very professional in the game that they won against Delhi a couple of days back. Yes, Chennai is coming back from a little bit of a rest, but the likes of Ambati Raidu really helps them. So I think it's a very, very even contest, I think, but just a shade above, just because the support is there. I just have to give it to Sunrisers moving on to this one, I think, tomorrow. What about you?
Yeah, same. I think I was not too confident going into the Delhi game, but I said one thing. I said if their star players perform, they'll have a very good chance of winning, and that's what happened. So again, I think this time I think there is quality. I think they have more quality than Chennai in terms of star power. But again, like you never know, man, Dhoni comes and hits it, or like Raidu. This tends to happen against Sunrisers. But overall, it looks like I think Sunrisers have the edge.
Yep, I agree 100%. So, what are your players to watch out for?
From Sunrisers, David Warner. I don't think I'm going to change throughout the thing. But yeah, David Warner and Rashid Khan, because Rashid Khan high in confidence now. I think he needed that. Those wickets were more important. His economy has always been good, but I think that spell, the fact that he got so many wickets, I think it'll give him a lot of confidence. So I'm eager to see what he's going to do against Chennai. And for the Chennai side, it has to be probably the man in form. No, actually, I'll go with Ambati Raidu.
Yeah,
I was going to say Faf, but I'll go with Ambati Raidu.
The one player that I'm looking forward to seeing after a very, very impressive bowling performance in the game against Delhi, I look forward to seeing Abhishek Sharma really go through and follow through. It's it's good to have one good game, but then you have to follow through with another good game. That gets hard because now a lot of videos, a lot of technology is available, so they can decipher his situation, like his action. They can figure out what he's trying to do and stuff like that. So the people come in with a little bit more knowledge about his bowling. So if he can follow through and continue a very good with a good game again, supporting Rashid, which is what we've been talking about, him support is lacking. That's where I think that there will be a good chance for us to for Sunrisers to go ahead and nick this game. So I'm looking forward to Abhishek Sharma from Sunrisers, and I'm looking forward to Raidu also from Chennai, because he's back and he is their go-to batsman in the top order with Raina missing. So.
Yeah, and any team changes for you, like for either of the teams? Raidu, of course, but apart from that, Vijay Shankar, his fitness issues, I'm not sure if he's fit or he's going to play, but or will Sunrisers go with the winning team?
I think if Vijay Shankar is fit, he automatically comes in place of Priyam Garg. Unfortunate for Garg, but his position is not to play at 5, 6, 7. His position is playing in top 3, and top 3 is pretty sorted right now, so he doesn't get a spot. But I think if Vijay Shankar is fit, he comes in easily for Priyam Garg for me. And then I think Gaikwad instead of Raidu. Gaikwad or Raidu.
You okay with Khalil as the left arm? There's a lot of Sunrisers fans who are not okay with him. But...
Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, you play, if you play him, you bowl him out in the first 10-12 overs. Like you play him 4 overs, bowl him out there, and then you keep the last 3 between Natarajan, who's been very good. So give him 2 and give Bhuvi 1, or the last 4 between Natarajan and Bhuvi. Kind of like that, and then maybe that 1 over that in the middle that you use Bhuvi for, you keep him till the end, and then you play Khalil in that over. So if not, you try the likes of Sid Kaul, who's also a good fast bowler. He's lacking form and lacking some kind of temperament in these kind of pitches. He might go for some runs. So that's the one issue. I don't see Sandeep Sharma being as effective. Maybe consider him because the pitches are a little bit slow, because he can bowl those slower ones and stuff like that. But whoever it is, they have to be bowled out in the first 10-12 overs. I don't think they are the kind of bowlers that can work in the death. I think Natarajan and Bhuvi make that last 2, 3, 4 overs.
Yeah, I think they found out last game was a good for Natarajan. Like now you know that Natarajan can bowl in the death overs. So that's
he was impeccable. Beautiful bowling.
Yeah, so bowl out the third fast bowler early, and these 2 at the death.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how you have to go with it, and then bowl out the others through around Rashid. Maybe as soon as 6th over is over, you give Rashid 2 in the first 10, and then give him 2 in the second half of the tournament, of the innings. And these are small things. I mean, they can work out. It feels like I am the one who's gonna make those decisions, but I think whoever's the third fast bowler, just bowl him out. Because this Chennai side can really pain make it hard, so they have to be very careful with that.
Yeah, Fair enough.
I think that's about it. I think that wraps up today's today's podcast. But tomorrow, I think the post-match podcast will be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, for sure. Win-win situation for you.
No, man, it's a win-lose situation. If Chennai wins, I'll be very upset.
It'll be a lot of fun.
And yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow then. Take care.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you.
Yep.
Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good night.